I'm Jeff Bambrick with the Puyallup Lacrosse Club, and this is a presentation on our behavior expectations for the players, our parents, and our coaches. As you might notice, I'm not wearing a Puyallup Lacrosse Club sweatshirt, and that's because I want this presentation to be for all the players, parents, and coaches of the entire South Sound Lacrosse League. A little bit about me: I'm the head coach of the Puyallup Lacrosse Club 3-4 boys program, but like a lot of people watching this presentation, I'm also a parent. I've got 2 boys playing in the program right now. In this presentation, we're going to be looking at the behavior expectations for the players, the parents, and the coaches. As you might have seen in the news lately, there has been an explosion of bad behavior from players, parents, and coaches all across the country in youth sports. If you go to YouTube, you can see countless videos of fights and brawls erupting at a Little League football game or a Little League baseball game. Sadly, with the rapid growth of youth lacrosse across the country, we're starting to see some of the same events. So the goal of this presentation is to keep that from happening in our league. Our goal with this presentation is that by clearly outlining behavior expectations for everyone involved, we can keep these type of events from happening in our league. So let's start out by taking a look at the behavior expectations for youth lacrosse players. For the players of youth lacrosse, the behavior expectations are really quite simple. It comes down to respect. If you respect the game, you respect the other players and yourself, and if you respect the coaches and the parents, you're not going to have any problems. It's a pretty simple process to understand. The behavior expectations that we have are the same on the field and off the field. So if you're playing in a game, or if you're watching a game, if you're cheering on another team, we have the same behavior expectations, and those are easily defined. So there's usually 2 areas where players tend to get in trouble in terms of their behavior. One is with their language, and that's an easy one. We always use proper language. We never use foul or inappropriate language on the field or off the field. You never know who's listening, so we always use the proper language no matter where we are. That's an easy one. The other area where players tend to get in trouble is their interaction with other players or the referees. As far as referees goes, once again, it's really easy. We never talk back to the ref. If the referee makes a call that you disagree with, talk to your coach. If they make a call that you don't understand, once again, talk to your coach. But we never ever argue with the referee if they make a call. We don't throw our hands up, we don't drop our stick, we just keep playing the game. We show respect to everybody on that field. As far as the interaction with other players, once again, it's really easy. Show class. Respect your opponent. Respect the other players. If you beat the other player on a dodge, you don't need to taunt him. You don't need to call it out. He knows what you did. Everybody saw what you did. Show respect. If you knock a guy down after the play is over, go help him up. If the other team makes a great play, it's okay to let him know, hey, that was a nice shot. That shows class and respect, and that's what we're looking for out of our players on and off the field. If we're going to be cheering on another Puyallup Panther team, that's great, but let's do it once again in a respectful and classy manner. We never want to be calling out the other team. We want to positively encourage our team. If you follow those simple rules as a player, you're going to do fine. You're never going to have any trouble. Always remember, anytime that you're doing anything with the Puyallup Lacrosse Club, you're representing the entire club. Everything you do is going to be viewed at as a Puyallup Lacrosse player. So your language and your interactions are crucial. Always carry yourself with pride and show respect for the game, the other players, the coaches, and the parents. For the coaches of the Puyallup Lacrosse Club, we have very high behavior expectations. I myself have failed to meet those sometimes, but I constantly strive to meet them, and that's what we expect out of all of our coaches. One of the behavior expectations that we have for our coaches is to set a positive environment. We always want to be a positive coach. So try to find the good things, try not to focus on the negative things, especially during a game. Let's positively encourage our players. We don't want to be negative about the other team or the other coaches. We want to try to be positive about the good things we see. We can talk about the negative things later. But especially on the sidelines, let's try to be positive about everybody's performance. We never want to call out the fact that a kid dropped a pass or he missed the goal. We want to encourage them for the good things they do. I know this is hard, but this is something that we can all work on as coaches. Try to be a positive coach. Just like our players, all the coaches need to use proper language. We want to carry ourselves in a manner that shows pride and respect in our organization. We never want to use foul language because, once again, you never know who might be listening. I have a pretty loud voice and my voice can carry a long ways, so I constantly have to watch myself to use proper language anytime I'm around the field. Another expectation that we have of our coaches is understanding the rules. A lot of the friction that you might see on the sidelines between a referee and a coach stems from a misunderstanding of the rules, especially with how the rules are applied at the different age groups. Certain behavior on the field that is allowed at the 7-8 level is not allowed at the 3-4 level. So our coaches really need to get into that rule book and understand what's right and what's wrong. The coaches on the sideline are ultimately responsible for all of the actions that happen from our players and from our parents and fans. So we need to keep an eye and an ear out for what's happening on the far side of the field. If you're starting to hear some comments from the fans that are not proper, we need to handle that immediately. We do not want to wait for the referee to notice or for the referee to get upset with our fans' behavior. We need to keep an eye on that stuff. We should try to delegate one of our parents to be the sideline monitor so that they're on that side of the field and they can keep an eye and make sure that everyone is having the proper behavior over there. The final coaching behavior I'm going to talk about is our interaction with referees. This is really where a coach can make his entire club look bad. I've definitely seen it a lot of times. I might have even done it myself, but I'm trying to get better. The bottom line is we never want to yell or argue with the referee. You got to remember that most of the refs are high school players. They don't have a lot of experience, and they certainly don't need a 40-year-old guy screaming at them from the other side of the field. That's not going to help our case. If you have a disagreement over a call with the referee, we're always respectful. We always use proper language. We never want to be yelling at the referee in front of the kids, because what kind of example is that setting for our players? It's not a good one. Always talk to the referee during a timeout or off to the side. We never want to be yelling across the field. You got to remember, in a lot of the 3-4 games, there's often only one referee. Sure, there should be two, but sometimes there's only one. That's a 110-yard field. It's a lot of ground for the referee to cover. So understand what these guys are doing out there. It's a high school player, might not have a lot of experience, and they might be understaffed. Work with them. Understand the rules, and maybe you can pull them aside and talk about something that you saw that might have been an infraction and the referee didn't see. But we'll do that in a respectful and polite manner. Always call the referee sir. We never just want to yell at the ref. Let's try to build our relationship with the referees, and that's going to go a long ways towards getting the call to go in your favor. So to summarize our coaching behavior expectations, we always want to use proper language. We want to carry ourselves in a respectful manner, always remembering that we are representing the entire lacrosse club community every time that we're on the sidelines. We never want to argue with the refs, and we always want to have a positive environment anytime that we're with the kids. Let's be a positive coach. Let's set a good example. So the final area I'm going to talk about is our parent behavior. But it's not just parents. It can be your friends that come to the game. It can be your aunt, your uncle, your cousin, even your dog. We need to really watch what's going on our sidelines. There's a couple different areas that we're going to look at here. One of the first areas of behavior that we can improve as a fan of the game is to know the game. You need to learn the rules and the play of the game. If you're on the sideline and if you see something happen on the field, if you see a kid get knocked down, you might want to start yelling at the ref that they didn't make a call. But maybe there wasn't supposed to be a call on that play. It was part of the game. You need to understand the basic rules of the game before you start yelling at people. We don't want to yell at people anyways, but I understand it. The key is to understand the game, knowing the rules, especially at each age level, so that you can understand if there is supposed to be a penalty or not. That's the first thing we can work on. And just like with the coaches, we expect our fans to always cheer in a positive manner. This is something that can really generate a lot of goodwill throughout the entire league. When you're cheering for your kid, let's do it in a positive manner. We never want to yell at your kid because they dropped the pass or they missed the goal. We want to encourage the good things, try to ignore the bad things. If you would like to talk to your son after the game about the shot that he missed, feel free to do so. But let's not do it from the sideline where everybody can hear you. That's probably not going to help his confidence, it's not going to help our team, and it doesn't make our club look any better. Another thing I've always liked about lacrosse is on the sidelines, if the other team makes a good goal or a good save, it's okay to clap for them. It's okay if the other team does something good and you acknowledge it. You don't have to just be a Panther fan. You can be a fan of the game of lacrosse, and that's going to generate a lot of goodwill amongst the entire league. We cheer for good plays. We do not boo for bad plays. If something bad happens, it's part of the game. But we definitely encourage good plays on both sides of the field. Another fan behavior I want to address is yelling at the ref. That's something we do not do. I've actually been in a game where the other team had a penalty on them because their fan behavior. They were yelling at the referee. It doesn't matter if you disagree with the call. It doesn't matter if it was the worst call ever and it's going to cost us the championship. We never yell at the referee. Remember, these are high school kids. They're doing the best they can. It's not going to help my case as a coach to have the fans screaming at the ref. Just don't do it. It makes us look bad, and it's not going to help me out as a coach. The final area of fan behavior I want to address is engaging the other fans. This is something that can really make our lacrosse club look bad. We never engage the other fans in a negative manner. If there's a parent that's yelling, saying something bad about your kid, I get it. It's not going to make you happy. But we never want to start yelling back at them. We want to use our sideline manager. If you have to, you can come and talk to me, the coach, on the far side of the sideline. But we never want to engage back with the fans that are having negative behavior. It's only going to make us look bad. So we never ever engage other fans in a negative manner, no matter what they're doing. If you're that upset, just walk away, come and find a coach, and we will handle it. Never engage other fans in a negative manner. So in this presentation, we really covered a lot of material. We went over the behavior expectations for players, fans, and parents, and the coaches. But really, if you boil it all down, it's pretty simple. You just want to act with respect for the game and respect for the people around you. You never want to do any action or behavior that is going to make our club or the sport look bad. We never want to see the Puyallup Lacrosse Club on a YouTube video about bad behavior. That's not what we expect. We've never had it, and we don't want it to start now. So let's keep up the good behavior. Let's start to build and grow on our reputation as a quality lacrosse club. And that's up to the players, the coaches, and the fans. Do the right thing. Let's build the sport of lacrosse, and let's have fun doing it. Thank you very much. So we're going to wrap it up here. I'm going to turn off all the lights. I'm going to turn off the computer magic, and I just want to talk as a parent and as a fan of the game. So I've been around this game a long time. I started playing in 1982 up in Seattle, and at that time there was only 6 teams in the state of Washington, and there was no youth lacrosse. After that, I played a little bit of college ball. I was really never very good, but I've been a lifelong fan of the game. I've been lucky enough to go to a couple different college national championships. I've even gotten to go to the world championships. I've been a lifelong fan of the game, and that's really our goal with the youth lacrosse program. I want to build kids that love this game so that they're going to go to college, and then they're going to come back and they're going to raise families, and their kids are going to play, and the dads are going to help coach. That's our goal with the youth lacrosse program. I want to build good kids and fans of the game. Our goal isn't to try to get a kid a college scholarship. If you have a high school player, great, I think that's a good goal. But for a 5th grader or a 3rd grader, I'm really not worried about if they're going to end up playing at Duke lacrosse. That's not our goal. With the huge explosion of youth lacrosse across the country, some people kind of want to turn it into football. And as most of us know, college football is really a business. for most colleges, it's all about money. It's about getting the TV contract or getting the full ride scholarship. I get that. That's great for football. But let's try to keep lacrosse as pure as we can. It's still a very pure sport. It really hasn't been corrupted too much yet. So at the youth level, let's not worry about trying to win the state championship at the 3rd grade level or a 5th grader trying to get them a scholarship shot. Let's worry about building good kids and fans of the game. I don't want a kid to be burned out on lacrosse at the age of 10. I want him to be a lifelong fan of the game, just like I am. So everybody can help us out in this. Let's really focus on building good, solid kids and fans of the game. Those are really my 2 primary goals. Those are the goals of all of youth lacrosse. I want good citizens and I want fans of lacrosse. I think if we all work together, we can easily achieve those goals. This is Jeff Bambrick with the Puyallup Lacrosse Club. I really thank you for your time.